On this episode of Gadget, we've got 24 inches of high-definition goodness with the Gateway FHD2401. We'd like to thank our production sponsors, the University Catholic Center, the California Province of the Society of Jesus, Gateway, and ClickFree. Hello, and welcome back to Gadget at thetechstop.net. It's the place where it's always time to get your geek on. I'm your host, Father Robert Ballecer of the Society of Jesus. I'm a member of the California Province of the Jesuits. We are the largest religious order in the Catholic Church, and we're here in the student lounge at the University Catholic Center, the Newman Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii. Now, we've got some pretty cool gadget goodness, but first I want to take a moment to remind everyone that we are in the middle of our click-free contest. That's right, if you drop by the TechStop at www.thetechstop.net and click on the Contest tab, you'll be able to find all the rules for entering our contest to win a 160GB click-free HD801 automatic backup. It's a very cool piece of technology, and if you watched the previous episode, you'll be able to find out all about it. So, as long as you're watching, you might as well be winning. Now let's get to the tech. This week we're taking a look at a 24-inch monitor from Gateway. This is the FHD2401. Now the reason why I asked Gateway for this 2401 is because, well, our previous best, most awesomest monitor ever to come to the lab is the Gateway HDD2400. It's a 30-inch that you've seen at the multifunction, the one that we use in a few of our episodes. A fantastic piece of technology. It's still a large chunk of change. Well, we asked them for monitors that were a bit more down-to-earth with the pricing, and, well, this is what they sent us. The FHD2401 represents the largest of Gateway's lower-priced tier of multifunction high-definition monitors. The FHD2401 is a 24-inch widescreen LCD that supports 1920 by 1200 native resolution. The screen has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, 2000:1 contrast ratio, and a 2 millisecond response time, which, combined with its 0.27mm dot pitch and support for 1080p HD signal, makes the 2401 ideal for fast-moving games or for action movies. The styling of the 2401 borrows much from Gateway's super high-end 30-inch XHD3000 multifunction monitor. The screen has a glossy black bezel with silver trim. It weighs 13.9 pounds and is only 5.9 inches deep, 22.5 inches wide, and 17 inches high. It comes with a quick-to-assemble mounting stand that allows the monitor to snap into place. The included stand is sturdy, but we found adjustment options on the 2401 to be wanting. It allows the monitor to tilt, but not to pan or to rotate, and there is no lift. Thankfully, removing the 4 screws securing the monitor to the stand reveals a VESA standard mounting plate, so that you can use the 2401 with any number of monitor mounts. The 2401 has an ultraBright coating that really brings out the colors and contrast of the source material, but it also leads to plenty of glare. In fact, we have yet to find a way to film an ultraBright screen in a way that will do it justice, but to be sure, the picture is beautiful. The FHD2401 is a multifunction monitor, so it comes with a number of inputs, including HDMI, a 24-pin DVI port, and 15-pin VGA connector. Unlike the higher-priced Gateway FHD2400 or XHD3000, the 2401 doesn't have component or composite inputs, but it does support HDCP or high-definition content protection, meaning that you'll be able to use it with high-definition devices that require that particular DRM mechanism. The FHD2401 uses Gateway's signature touch-sensitive controls to set up the monitor to your liking. Rather than buttons, the 2401 has an area to the lower right of the bezel that uses a touch-sensitive pad. The control areas only light up when in use, leaving you with a clean button-free monitor. You can control everything from brightness to contrast, color levels, input configuration, and the like. The menus are intuitive and for the most part responsive, though we had a few instances in which it seemed as if the menu system became sluggish. For the uber geek control freak, Gateway has also included a copy of EasyTime, an easy-to-use management software that allows you to adjust all of your preferences from the computer rather than the monitor. This software also lets you calibrate the color, contrast, and brightness of your monitor so that it comes close to a true color representation of the source material. The FHD2401 supports picture-in-picture, and you can customize exactly how you want your PIP to look. You have control over size, location, division, and the opacity of the screen. One of the nice features of this particular PIP implementation is that the monitor can automatically scale input resolutions to a user-selectable size without making the picture look horrible. Gateway was nice enough to send us the optional speaker bar for the 2401. It connects to the monitor via a power connector and an audio cable for the HDMI port. It snaps into the back of the 2401 and gives users 2 headphone ports as well as a microphone input. It also comes with a pair of standard RCA inputs on the back of the bar to allow input from your game console, media players, or other audio sources. In usage, we found the FHD2401 to be a delight to use. The ultrabright screen really helped our color matching, and we used it with our Xbox with no trouble whatsoever. The speaker bar, while a tad underpowered for a home theater system, was more than enough for the casual user or for desktop duty. We also found the FHD2401 to be quite energy efficient. In operation, the monitor used between 65 and 100 watts depending on which mode you were using. In standby, the 2401 draws less than a watt. The Gateway FHD2401 comes with a 1-year warranty and is available now for $400. Now, I like this monitor. I really do. I mean, there are so many things to like about it. It's large. It's 24 inches. It's widescreen. It's got the good aspect ratio. It's got a beautiful bezel and a nice flowing style that just wants to sit on my desktop. You know, more than that, it's got that speed, the 2 millisecond speed that allows me to use it with first-person shooters or fast-paced movies. Now, you know, for most people, 5 to 6 milliseconds, something like the XHD3000 is more than enough. I mean, for me, I really can't tell the difference. But there are those people who have written us and told us that 5 to 6 milliseconds for them just won't cut it. They can see the slight lag, and they can see the ghost trails, and they do notice the difference between a 2 millisecond monitor and a 3 millisecond monitor. And for those people, well, this might just be for you. Now, let me say that there are a few negatives, a few cons that I do want to bring up. The first being this very same style that I like so much. You know, the bezel is nice, but it is glossy, which means it's going to attract fingerprints. Now, if you're one of these people who's going to be anal retentive about keeping your workplace absolutely clean, you should know that because you're going to have to keep a box of wipes right next to you in order to keep it clear. Now, more than that, the menu system sometimes really did act a little bit strange. We're not sure if it just bogged down because the processor wasn't fast enough or perhaps the sensor is slightly miscalibrated. But there were a few times where we were touching the buttons, or the areas where the buttons are supposed to be, the touch-sensitive areas, and it just wasn't responding. Furthermore, the stand that comes with this is absolutely disappointing. I mean, the fact that this thing can only tilt forward and back is just not going to do it. I mean, some people that might be enough, and the fact that it makes it much lighter, you know, 13.9 pounds in a nice little compact package is nice, but if you're going to use this for any sort of serious work, I would really look into a third-party VESA standard type stand. And that's not a problem because we've looked at a couple on the show, something from Ergotron that can really get you something that's sturdy and beautiful and adjustable. But again, know that out of the box, the stand here is not all that satisfying. However, the biggest con, and I'm not really sure if this is a con as much as it is a buy advisory, is that compared to its older brother, the FHD2400, there are many reasons to go with the older monitor. The first being that 2400 can actually be had for about $100 less if you bought it from, say, Tiger Direct or so. Now, you should know that at that price, you're getting a refurbished model rather than a brand new one, which would run you about $100 more. That monitor has about half of the contrast ratio. It's much more dim. It doesn't have the brightness of this backlight. And it's slower. It's about 3 milliseconds versus the 2 milliseconds. But what you get with that is many more inputs. You get a component input. You get a composite input. So if you wanted to hook up your monitor to, say, your Wii and a component device, something like a Blu-ray player that had component but not HDMI, well, you'd have to get some sort of adapter with the 2401. It would come in built in with a 2400. However, if you are looking for a centerpiece for your entertainment center, if you want something that can equally represent your first-person shooter as your latest action flick, if you want something that can be mounted on a wall or on a desk or just kept around for fun old gaming, might I suggest you take a look at the Gateway FHD2401? You can find out more about it and all of Gateway's monitors by going to their website at www.gateway.com. If you go to your local Best Buy or your electronics store, you'll be able to find it if they carry all the major brands. Now, also let me say that if you want to find out our impressions of the 2401 in our lab, you can always go to our website at www.thetechstop.net. And if you click on the Gadget tab, you'll be able to find all of our episodes in high resolution. Now, don't forget to stop by as well to subscribe to our YouTube page, www.youtube.com/gadgets. And while you're there, go ahead and enter the contest for our click-free giveaway. I've been your host, Father Robert Ballecer. This has been the Student Lounge at the Newman Center. And remember, there's no Uber Geek without you.